Hello, welcome to my channel. So it's been quite a while since my last upload. I kind of fallen off filming in like around week 6 after like my assessments for uni started piling up, and then I just sort of like fallen off my filming routine. But anyway, so it's currently week 12 and today is Thursday, but it's my last day of semester 1 for uni. Since I don't have any classes on Friday, I decided to take you along on my final day of semester. It's completely online, but I just thought it would be a good way to close off this semester. Next week is Fav Book and the week after is exams week, so technically this semester hasn't officially ended yet, it's just the teaching period has ended. So today I will be attending my last poetry class and my last screen studies toot. I had my last modernism class yesterday and my last Shakespeare seminar on Monday. So today I am gonna have my last classes, and then I am gonna make an assessment schedule for how to break down and tackle my final assessments for my subjects, which I haven't started yet, and they are due in 2 weeks time, so I should probably start them soon. And yeah, so hope you enjoy watching me navigate my last day of uni. My poetry toot starts at 11 and it is now 10:30, so I have half an hour until my toot starts, so I will just use this time to read and give feedback. For the weekly workshopping poems, every single week there's 2 people who would upload their poems to be workshopped, and our class has to read them and give feedback during the toot time, and also fill out this feedback form where like you identify like what do you find are their strengths and weaknesses and any suggestions. So basically all our poems are uploaded onto the LMS site, and each week starting from week 5 to week 12 we have our weekly workshopping sessions, and so we have our workshopping poems and feedback that we have to upload. And this week we have 2 workshopping pieces, so I will get started going through them, and hopefully I manage to get through all of them before class starts. And yeah. I've just finished my screen studies toot, which means I have officially finished my last class for semester 1 of this year. And so now I am going to take a break and do some painting, and then afterwards later Today I am gonna make an assessment schedule to plan out my final assessments. In total, I've got 4 final assessments for each of my subjects, and they're all like essays except for poetry, which is a final portfolio of a collection of poems, plus a book review for a poetry anthology. So that's quite a heavy load, so I really wouldn't want to leave it off till the last minute and cram like I usually do. Since I've got less than 2 weeks, I really need to plan out how I am gonna space out my assessments so that I wouldn't be doing last minute cramming, and I can actually spend more time and make my assessments like better quality. But first, I am gonna take a painting break just so I can have a break after 2 Zoom sessions, and so let's get going. Hello again. So I'm actually filming this on the next day because I didn't want to continue filming last night as it got quite late after I finished my painting and making my assessment schedule, and I just wanted to get a rest from my last day of uni. Anyway, so here is the completed painting. I've only just started getting into watercolors, so it's still really rough, and I don't exactly have the best materials either. My brushes are really poor quality, and the hairs are the hair on the brush are literally falling off when I paint, so I should really get better brushes. Anyway, so I was just following a tutorial on YouTube and just painting along, and yeah, I really want to get more into painting. Art is one of the goals I set for myself this year, so yeah, I am just getting started, and hopefully this time next year my painting skills are gonna be way better than this. So let's just pop it here. Right, so here is my completed assessment schedule. And so in total, I have 4 assessments, and all of them are due between the 6th and the 10th of June. And today is the 27th, which means I've got about 10 days till my first assessment is due. And for those of you who don't know, I am majoring in English, and in total I am taking 4 subjects this semester, and as all my subjects this semester are art subjects, and for art subjects, like, all your assessments are basically essays, which means that we don't actually have exams, like we just have final essays, which you can literally start and submit like anytime. So for my major, I am doing 2 subjects. I'm doing Shakespeare in Performance and Modernism. For Shakespeare in Performance, we got given like a list of options we can like choose from, and I've decided to like be a bit more creative, and instead of doing like 3 essays this semester, I've decided to choose the podcast option, where like we have to like compare and contrast like 2 different adaptations of a Shakespeare play, and then write a transcript for a podcast episode, and we have to record ourselves and submit the recordings. And so I just thought that sounded really interesting, so I was like, why not? So I've decided to choose that. And then for Modernism, we have to choose one of the essay questions and respond to that prompt with 2 different texts we covered in our course. And I haven't chosen my prompt yet, so I should do that later soon. And for my electives, I have chosen Screen Studies, the like intro course, and for our final assessment we have to also respond to one of the prompts and respond to it with reference to 2 different films we've watched and studied throughout this semester, and I need to choose that as well. And for my creative writing minor, I am doing poetry, and for poetry we actually have 2 assessments due during the exam period. One of them is the final folio for poetry, and where we have to write and submit 10 different poems which are between 100 and 120 lines, where we have to write in all the different forms that we have covered this semester. The second assessment is the book review, where we have to read a poetry anthology written by an Australian poet in the last 10 years, and then we have to analyze and write a review on that anthology. And for my review, I have chosen to do it on Maxine Beneba Clark's How Decent People Behave, which I haven't started reading yet, so I need to do that first. But since it's like a poetry anthology, like I feel like I can get through it like pretty quickly. Basically, I have just broken down all my assessments across all the days I still have left till the due dates, and in red I have written the due dates for each of the assessments, and then I worked backwards to like see how like many tasks I have to do to complete the assessments. And so basically I have written all the tasks for each subject in a different color, just so like it's more obvious and it's easier for me to see like what I have to do for each assessment. And yeah, so oh yeah, and I've decided to submit all my assessments at least one day like early, just so that I would allow myself like more time, like just in case something happens like on the last day. Like I usually submit all my assessments like a few hours before their due dates, but that I found wasn't such a good idea, because something can happen like on your like last day, and that would like really impact on like your assessment like submission. Like actually more than once I have lost marks just because I've accidentally submitted the wrong file. It's really sad because like it's often just like the little tasks, because like you finish an assessment and then like you go over it, edit it, and make sure like it matches everything on the criteria, and then you save it and submit it, but then you accidentally submit one of the like previous files. As a result, like you lose marks for things that you have already done. And so like for my last assessment for my screen studies essay, I lost marks because the file that I submitted was a previous file, and where like I only wrote the essay and I didn't include in the references. But since it's a research essay, like the research part and the bibliography, that's like the like one of the most important parts. Because I submitted it and then I didn't check, so I didn't realize until like I got my marks back and in the feedback, and I got like so many good like comments on like how well I've written, and on the like rubric I have like gotten high marks for like all the criteria except for like the bibliography, the references, because the file I submitted didn't have the like references at the end, so I ended up losing a lot of marks because of like that. So I really don't want that to happen again. So yeah, so I am gonna make myself a rule to submit all my assessments at least one day early. So in total, I still have 11 days until my first assessment, which is poetry, is due. But since on the 30th, I would be doing my third 24 hours readathon, so technically I have one day less, so I only have like 10 more days until my first assessment is due, which is actually sooner than it looks. So that's like less than 2 weeks. And yeah, like that is that. So I will end this video here now, and next week I will be filming a weekly vlog to cover swap back, and the week after is exams period week. But since I don't have exams, like I only have to like work on my essays, but I will be taking you along on my swap back and exams week. Yeah, so if you want to see more about how I actually tackle all my assessments, then stay tuned for more content to come. And thank you for watching, and we'll see you in my next video.